Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Krishna Priya. This is the Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It's Saturday, the 17th of May, 2025, and we have with us our wonderful, wonderful
Hi,
channeler.
welcome.
There we
This is
go.
Krishna Priya. This is the Human
Someone has
Colony.
got to remind me, like someone has to take it on themselves to remind me. Anyway, we have with us our wonderful channeler, Jim Charles. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I've proven I cannot learn. I can't for some
It's all
I
right.
can't remember to, you know what it is like the windows all open up and I'm looking to see like
Right.
we're live. And the next thing you know, there's 2 seconds, there's me from 15 seconds ago or whatever it is talking. So, but anyway, welcome. How's your week been? Your last
So
couple
far,
weeks?
the week has been good.
Good.
I didn't sleep well last night, but I'm good for the most of the week. Yep.
Okay, well, stay with us. If you get tired, we can maybe take a little nap, every one of us. I could use a nap as well. So mid webinar nap.
A mid-webinar siesta.
That's it. You know, it's so hot here in India now that people really do sleep from like, they eat lunch at 1 and then they'll sleep until like 4 because it's just so hot. So
Oh, that's
even
crazy.
the stores close, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then they're open till like 10. So, but it just gets so it's hot now here. So. Anywho,
What are the temperatures so far?
like, well, right now it's in the, at night it gets cooler, but it's in the higher 90s, 100.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're in the mountains, so we're doing much better than say Delhi, which is just like a little oven there. It's hot, like still air, you know, like it's
Yes.
just hot, hot.
Wow.
So yeah, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's India. Anyone ever see did you ever see Big Bang Theory? When
Yeah.
they said how's India? They're like, it's hot, it's always hot. It's nothing but hot. Or how's the weather? Hot. It's always hot. It's like, it's true. Anyway. Oh, you hear the music?
No.
There's what's going on is called a Ram Katha, is the story of Ram. And they have these, one of the things here they do in India is they have these very famous storytellers who are exquisite in their ability to tell stories. And they'll tell the stories of all the epics of India, all the sacred texts, and they always do it like a stage production. And we have one of the best storytellers here now. And there's always music, and they're outside singing and playing right now. You can't hear it? Oh, it's too bad.
No.
Anyway, so there's a Ram Kata going on. Okay, all right. Angie, do you have any? You do? Hi. Do you have any?
Hi. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
Okay.
All right.
Tell us about them.
Hi. Like, I would like to just share some wonderful news. Now, Jim's website is up and running. Jim's new email address is up and running. And so if you need to contact Jim at all, so what I have here is, as always, start with Human Colony at Human Colony, www.humancolony.org. And Jim's email address, Jim's email address and Jim's website. All of the information to get in touch with Jim for any sessions and things like that, please go to the new website. He is weaning away from Jim Reiki and then going to Jim at jimcharles.com. So with that, also, we are in the process of gaining all of the information, collecting the emails from past, present, and future clients and information. So we are working on that. So okay, that's all I got.
Okay, great. You'll always be Jim Reiki to me, though, Jim.
It is true. He will always be Jim Reiki, but moving on.
Yes.
Jim Charles. He'll always now be Jim Charles.
Well, Jim Reiki will be my personal account. So
Yes.
You don't announce
Jim-
that on television.
Oh, Yeah, okay.
It's just, hey, everybody on the internet, Jim Reiki is my personal email account.
Well, you don't use that one.
He didn't mean it. It was
Yes,
a joke.
he didn't mean it. He really didn't.
No, I didn't mean it.
Okay. All right. So we have in the room with us, we have Angie, Yana, Jim, Adriana, Christine, Michael, Celeste, Sierra, and Wendy. And we're going to start with some blessings. So we'll go Yana. Let me make sure I do it. Yana, Celeste, Michael, and Wendy, right? Okay. All right. Whenever you guys are ready. Yana being the first one to be ready.
Okay. Hi, guys. My slightly muffled microphone, so I hope this comes through. This is the actual lens. Shtakartano ohea kahatanaite tosta torte makaa. Hentea tusto orto konaite. Eka arta päistike iha. Hanta itia koorto mokojakas. Hata nite I ahanai ko orto makesta kaartene. Enta tueta katartene stakor. Papa. Enta aite kasta korta makana. Ente ostakota. Parte nakasta.
My people, it is better to listen than to comment. Many times people are waiting to comment before they even heard what was being talked about. It is a wonderful thing for you to listen so that you can understand what is being said before you comment on it. Many people are ready to fire back as soon as anybody says something, and they may not even understand what was being said at the beginning. Remember to listen carefully so that you get the information correctly so you can answer the question or answer what is being said properly. Blessings to you.
Greetings, everyone. Atrshit malho malai tutustet hom fushit Namaste.
There's a brightness in the way that most people are trying to do things these days. They are trying to step away from the darkness in a way that is very pronounced. And we are appreciating that very much. Healing is getting stronger, and so are the psychic gifts. But we want to caution you that this is a time of renewal and of uplifting. So come into your own and understand the meaning of it all.
Michael, whenever you're ready.
Usake la masa tika nana una masiki la sata maheha hula ese upatana ke ala uita samakele hese una kosenina dosa hel ayalu setela ula. Blessings.
Be kind to others. Treat them as you would want to be treated yourself. Remember that it is difficult for some to act normally at some points, but it is difficult also to maintain a good relationship with someone that is not in a good place. So be cautious of what you say and how you speak, for it is important to keep peace and to bring around those that are in need to a better place.
Ashti rana hatha hiro to kuini shi ta pakauene. I hear no history to irara. Kana chutu irna icha tinia asahara. Ko nyuro in yahishu in to kudiena mata. Shishu niera takuro to niero. Blessings.
Bring forth the new ideas, the new understandings, and uncover what you can so that others may be enriched. There is many things to find in this generation and many things that are being uncovered. Study and learn what those things are so that you may share them with the world and they may be enlightened.
Thank you.
Very well. All right.
All right, so we have some requests. Let me go through them. We have Elijah and we have Shell and a person from the future for 20 years, preferably from Europe, but from the US is also okay. We have Malcolm requested and the El Yaha, a being from Alpha Centauri, a gatekeeper to the Akashic records, perhaps Simeon 5 or Gabriel, Kuan Yin, Luatha of the Syrian elders. And let me just check the YouTube situation real quick. You know, it's funny because it opened, but it didn't open to the right. I think I clicked it away. So just give me 1 second. But do you want me to reread those ones that I just did, or are you good?
Well, let's see if there's any in the
Okay. Okay, just 1 moment. I apologize for the
no problem.
delay. Oh, 1 second. Are we live? Are we live? It says we're live.
Yes, it says we're live.
Yeah, but where are we broadcasting? Because I'm not seeing it on the Hucolo TV. 1 second.
Let me take a look.
Are we on? Hucolo TV? Do you see us live on there? Yeah, okay, we're there. Okay. Oh, usually when you go into YouTube, it has a red circle showing you're live, but it did not have the red circle, but it's there. Okay, thank you, Nancy. I don't see, thank you. All right. I don't see any requests here, so
All right.
after all of that. so-
All right. Can
so
you
should
repeat
I-
them one more time and then
Yes, I will.
forward.
Yeah. Elijah, someone from 20 years in the future, Shell, the El Yaha, Malcolm, a being from Alpha Centauri, a gatekeeper to the Akashic records, either Gabriel or Simeon 5, Kuan Yin, Luatha of the Syrian elders, and Tukur. Let me just see if anything came in YouTube while I was saying that I didn't have anything there. Let's see. No, I don't see anything there.
All right. I will go and see who's coming first. I believe it's Elijah.
Okay. He might change it up on us. You never know.
You never know. Yes, he's has a mind of his own for sure.
All right. Have a good session, Jim.
Thank you. Greetings, I am Elijah. Today I want to share with you that this is a time when the prophecies are coming to pass, when things that have been predicted in the Bible and other books of sacred instruction and scripture are coming to pass. They are telling you that there are things happening that are unusual, that are not common in this realm. There are earthquakes in very unusual places. There are storms and weather that cannot be predicted and are out of control. There are signs in the sky, and there are many eclipses more than usual. And why would that be? Because they are telling you to prepare yourselves for what is to come. It is not to be a negative warning, but it is to be a warning of positivity that you are to follow and to understand that this is something that is meant to be. This is something that is going to happen. It is something that is blessed by God and the scriptures of all natures. I know I dwell more on the Bible than I do on other scriptures because that is what I am knowledgeable of. I came from the Old Testament. I came from the scriptures. I came from the places that are well known in the past and ancient past. But I also know what is modern. I also know what is happening in this generation. And I know it's much different than what Jesus had faced in his time and in his realm. It was a very, very different time, and he will have to face a world that is very, very different from what he once was in. This is a time of great celebration, for he will be coming back. He will be coming to each and every one of you in some way, in the spirit of God, in the spirit of the Holy Spirit, of course, and in the ways that might seep into your dreams or seep into your understandings in a better way as time moves on. Call on him, ask him to come in, be willing to help wherever needed, and he will be with you and you will be with him. Remember, he knows you better than you know yourself, and he can bring you into a place of higher understanding, a place where only you can understand how amazing he made you. You will find that you have many, many things within you that he can use, and many, many things within you that he gave you to use. And so be with him, call on him, help him, and he will help you. But you must call on him first. He will not force his way in. Remember, he gave you free will. And as he gave you free will, that means you must determine what your life is going to be like. You must determine if you want to call him in or not. You must determine what your life is. You must determine what spirituality is. Because he gave you that free will for you to learn and understand, seek and know. And so as we move forward, we see that God is working in this world. It may not be apparent because there are so many negative things happening here and there and everywhere, and the storms are very difficult, and the earthquakes and the volcanoes and whatever there is. But he will take his people and lift them up, bring them into a new period of understanding, love them in a way that they can only know from God. He is your Father. He is your understanding. He is who you should turn to. A lot of people turn to many other different beings and gods, which is fine as long as they realize that God is behind all of them. The one true God, the one true creator, the one true source, the one true Allah or being or Jah or whatever you want to call him. He has many names. But his name is holy. His name is above reproach. His name is fantastic. And he will bring that to you as you are loyal and obedient to him. Be well, my children. This was a short message, but a necessary one for you to move on to the next levels and the next levels above that. Remember to keep always in mind that you are a child of God and that he is the one to call on. Jesus, if you wish, the Holy Spirit, whoever you find to be the most trustworthy God that's been able to help you. But remember that it is the one true creator, source that is behind it all. He is the one true God, and he will bring all religions together at some point. Even though some say that that is hypocrisy and terrible, but it is what is necessary. All mankind must see one God and see one being ruling all the worlds, all the beings. Love one another and do not tear down one another for being of a different religion, for that does not help. You are all children of God. You are all children of God. Be well and much love.
Thank you. Elijah, is there could you have room for a question?
Is there a question?
Yes, there's a question from the YouTube chat. It's from Nancy. She says, I've started to study the Bible after getting to know about this channel, Hucolo. Which chapter in the Bible is best for me to study for now? Which movie is best to watch to learn about God's love?
Very good questions. I would start with the New Testament, but I wouldn't start with Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. They are just outlines of Jesus's life, which is also good. But there's a lot more spiritual depth in the books that Paul wrote, in the books of Acts, in the books of Chronicles, and things of that nature. But you must understand that each and every individual goes about reading the Bible in a different way. And they understand it differently because God gives them the information that they need to understand what they are reading. If you ask Him first for the knowledge that you need and for the translation that you need. Also, what best movies? There are many, but right now I do not watch movies, so it is hard for me to say, but there is one out about the life of Christ right now on Angel Television or something like that, that gives the life of God, Jesus, in a very human way, but a very spiritual way as well. And so those are the kinds of things that you want to watch because they're most honest, most clear, and most like what Jesus was like in when he was alive.
Thank you. There's also the question of who was Jehovah or Jehovah as written in the Bible. I am new to the Bible. Is Jehovah the Father God? Jehovah, you would say?
Jehovah is, yes, God has many names. And so Jehovah is one of them. And for those that use the name for Jehovah, do not be misrepresented by it, but understand that God has many names and that he is all powerful. That name is a name that he doesn't use often, but he does use. And it is a good name to use if you want to speak to him. All names of God are good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Was the only questions. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. I hope that sheds some light on your understanding.
I believe so. Thank you.
If not, let me know.
Okay.
I am Gabriel from the Akashic Records, someone has called for one of the guards, one of the noticed people from there. There are many of us.
Yes. I don't, was it Wendy who requested you?
I am
Or
not
no?
sure.
I'm not sure either. Someone needs
Angie.
to, Angie requested. Okay, Angie, if you would like to, maybe Gabrielle, you can tell us a little bit about yourself
Yeah.
and what is it your what you do, and then we can proceed to questions.
I am one of the ones that let people into the Akashic records because there is much to do for people to get in. It is not that the door is open all the time and you can walk in. There's millions and billions and trillions of pieces of information in the Akashic records, even far beyond that, because all lives are taken into account and brought into a small space. In a pinhead, you can have 5,000 lives. And so in that pinhead, there are many things to be recorded. But I let you in. But first, I ask many questions. I want to know your intentions. I want to know why you are coming. I want to know what it is that you seek. I want to know why it is that it's important to you to know this information at this time, because not all information is able to be given to you. We conceptualize what you are doing here and look at your life and where you are from and what you have been doing. And so before we can let you into the Akashic records, we must know your intentions and where your life has been going. Many times we find that people are asking for things they cannot have. They're asking for their lives in certain eras which cannot be represented to them at this time because they are not able to understand what has happened in that lifetime, or in that lifetime it was something different than what it would seem as they would look at it as. So they must understand that each lifetime represents many different kinds of thought processes and many kinds of actions and deeds. And sometimes they can be very confusing because they're living a very different life than that which was purposed in a different lifetime. And so you must understand we must be cautious not to disillusion the people that are coming in and disillusion them to change the way they are living now with information that could be damaging to their world and to their life. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, very much. It makes me have a question, if I can ask a question before Angie, if that's okay. What will happen to the Akashic records when time travel becomes a reality for humans?
Time travel is already a reality, but not necessarily for humans. But time travel will be recorded in the Akashic records the same as all actions, deeds, emotions, words, etc. It will just be a part of the Akashic records that will say time travel was done here and where they went, what they did, and how it was approved or disapproved. And it will be just part of the records.
All right, I'm just thinking of all the temporal shifts that will happen and how that
Temporal
would
shifts are
affect
recorded.
everything. Yeah,
Temporal
okay,
shifts will be recorded and have been recorded, yes.
okay. Thank you for that. Angie, did you have a question?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here today. As the gatekeeper to the Akashic records, do most people access the Akashic records during the sleep experience? When do they access the Akashic records?
Most of them do that in their astral performances and will be granted some instruction on how to get into the Akashic records in their astral being, because that will not necessarily translate into an idea in the human form, but it will give the astral being some record of what they are dealing with in other realms. Now, humans will not always find the Akashic records in their nights sleeps, but there are some people that will dream and find the Akashic records, and it will be opened for them after some detail. But for now, it is not that accessible. There are those on your planet that do read the Akashic records daily because they are channels and they want to bring forth what is valuable from the Akashic records to the people that are asking. But through channeling, Akashic records can be brought forth, also through dream state, also through astral state. These are the ways that it has been brought forth. Usually in your daylight waking time, you will not find that you will be able to access the Akashic records without help.
What about through meditation with that intention to have that meditative state? And then through that to go up to the Akashic records up.
You can do it through a meditative state. That is not in a normal state of being, usually. Usually a meditative state alters your awareness and alters how you see things and where you are in the realm and in other realms. So yes, the Akashic records can be accessed through meditation, which is also sort of a dream state.
Yes, I understand that. That makes sense to me. Thank you. With the information that we just received from Elijah, that a lot of the prophecies are beginning to come into play, what can accessing the Akashic records do to help the individual with what is prophesied?
Prophecy is of now and the future. Whenever the Akashic records has to offer will be of the past, or it can be of the future if that is what they have requested and are permitted to see. But usually the Akashic records will show things from the past or the present, and they will not show exactly the meaning of all the things that are meant by the signs in the sky, the way that the prophecies have meant to be stated, or how they are to open up from this point. The thing is about the prophecies is they are something that God offers humanity as a warning sign for what is to come, and to bring people into understanding that he is watching over them during these times of revelation. So past records may not give you much information about the future, but you must ask for the future records rather than the present records in order to understand the prophecies.
Thank you. That really has a lot of clarity for me. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Celeste has a question. Go ahead, Celeste.
Yes, hello, greetings.
Greetings.
Okay, what I want to know is, would I be able to heal myself by going into the Akashic records? For example, I have a bloated stomach. Would I be able to go to the Akashic records and ask for whichever past life where the root cause lies and have it healed from there so it reflects upon this particular physical life of mine?
Yes, that is one way to do it. There can be healing through the generations, through the Akashic records. And if you find the right passageway to get in through the Akashic records to find those healing remedies from the past, it is possible. So therefore, but you must understand that this ailment may come from this present life instead of from a past life. It may have something to do with this life and something that happened in this one. But I tell you this, your energy is strong in healing and you can heal yourself. You have very strong energies with healing, and you do not use them on yourself as much as you do on others. But I see that you can, and they will be very effective.
Reason why I ask is because I'm undertaking a 12-week course in going to the Akashic records, and from there be able to, yes, first initially I have to heal myself before I can assist anyone else in healing through their Akashic records. And I believe any and all diseases and illnesses can be healed.
Yes, that is true. And you are someone that can do that. You must believe, have faith, and know that it is powerful for you to do this. You must give your energy easily, and which you do.
And as far as accessing the Akashic records, I think I've managed to get in there a few times.
Yes,
Okay, so all right, all I need is just more self-confidence, I believe. That's all that's required at the moment.
I give you the more self-confidence that you need because you are needed as a healer, as someone that can access the Akashic records, and someone that can explain them to other people so that they may be valuable to others.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you. I'm looking to see if there's any other questions. I don't see any other questions. If anyone has one, please say.
It is all right. There's a line waiting.
All right, all right. Well, thank you. I would love for you to come back at a different time, but thank you very much for being here. And
Thank
appreciate
you.
your willingness to share your knowledge.
Itia sonzo torea haria uta. Be well.
Thank you.
I am from Syrian space. Someone has called me. Who was it?
I believe that you were called by Wendy. Are you Luatha?
Yes.
Welcome, Luatha. Wendy, are you here?
I am.
The
Okay.
name is not important. My
I see.
energy is what is necessary.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
So I've been working with the Syrian elders for connecting in with the tree of life and have been getting images and messages from it. But recently, this past week, I actually had you come through with channeling, and you had many messages. But I'm wondering, is there a message that you have kind of for our Hucolo group and those
Yes.
that are watching?
There are many messages for all that are watching and all that are here, because those that have ears will hear. We are very spiritual beings here in the Syrian concept. And I say concept because we are not like most other beings. But we bring the message of peace to you, that we wish peace upon your planet, and that it is not in a peaceful state at this time. Bring yourselves together. Remember this, even though there are those that you dislike and that are far away and are maybe someone that is argumentative or unkind, they are still part of God's children. There is some way to make a way to them, to make them understand that God is loving them as well as He is loving yourself. And to just dismiss them is a crime that you will pay for. It is that you will pray for. It is not that you must be close friends with them. It is not that you must be allies with them, but you must be kind. You must be loving. You must be understanding. And you must know that they are seeing every move you make and judging it. And judgment is wrong. I do understand that. But the world judges every minute of the day. Judgment is what happens every second. Even in this group, you judge things. You judge people. You judge messages. You judge thought processes. You judge each other. But it's so common. It's so very common that you don't even realize it. It's like just something right in front of you that you do, that it just passes by and you don't even think about it. You judge, judge, judge. But yet, judge not, lest ye be judged. That is something from your earthly scriptures. The thing is, our scriptures say very many things that are much like that. The other thing I want to say to you is this. Your ways of life are changing. It is a different world now than it was even a year ago, even 5 months ago. It's a different world and it is changing constantly. Is it changing for the better? Who can say? We do not see the outcome. We only see the changes. We do not see that the changes have been kind to humanity. We do not see the changes have been bringing mirth to the earth, if you will. It is more of a disappointment, more of staying away from the depression of it all, more like staying away from the judgment of it all. I want you to know, yes, it's easy to judge the nations, the leaders, and all those that are around, and they are perhaps not doing well. But to judge them does not change that. To judge them only makes you more equal to them. You see, as we put people down, we put ourselves down in the same manner because we are taking a lower vantage point than a higher one. The higher vantage point would be to try to see beyond what they are doing, see beyond what is happening now into a place where we cannot know, but we must find. We must find the peace, the understanding, the knowledge for the journey, the message that is to be spoken to every single human, the missions to be accomplished, the positivity that must be dispersed throughout all humanity. And how can that happen if you are putting others down? Even if they are not close to you, even if they are a distance, even if they are not kind, you must look beyond them and find that which is good, and find that which is beyond them in a different way, a different realm, a different understanding. We are here to rise above that which is here on this planet. I say that because I have visited this planet many times, and I've seen people rising above it, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I've seen it on my planet many times, and we have mostly risen above it. There is still darkness and negativity, but we are still trying to overcome that by looking beyond it, looking for the better part of what is to come. And if you cannot see something better that will come, then you must start focusing on the better that is in your own life right now so that it can be the future, because you are to create the future betterments. You are to create the future of greatness and goodness. You are to create that which is to overcome all negativity and evil. That is a tall order, a very tall order indeed. And many are rising to do it. But those of you that are not know who you are. You are lost a little bit in the worldly distractions. You are lost a little bit in the worldly understanding of what is good and bad for you. It is not about you necessarily. It is about how you can help everyone else through your love, your compassion, your kindness, your obedience to God, to Source. You are very important, but don't make yourself self-important. That's something different. That's bringing everything into you and making you the center of all things. No, you must make the word of God or the word of Creator the source. We call him Mata, the source of Mata. He is the great one, the one who sees and creates all and knows each and every being in the universe. Mata rules. And we want you to know that you do not rule unless Mata puts you in charge. And so, as we bring this little speech to a close, I want to tell you that you are each and every one beloved. Beloved. And God sees you and knows more about you than you believe, and will raise you up in the place that you will do the most good. And it could be a very high place, or it could be a very mundane place. But it is a place where you fit, where you know, where you understand that God is with you because you're happy. You're happy about where you are, you're happy about what you're doing, and you're happy to give God the glory. Yes, that is it. You must find the joy in this life, and you must send that joy out. You must send that joy out to the future and the present. Because without you sending out your joy, what is there for tomorrow? How can you find the joy in tomorrow? You must send it out and capture it. You must send it out and say, yes, there is a joyful, beautiful tomorrow, and I will be part of it, and I will send that out to the universe. This is who you are. Great beings. Even though you see yourself as tiny little representations of God's small power, but you are greater than that. You can be unleashed in a very positive and very unconceited way. Much love to you. That is my greatest message.
Thank you very much. When you came through, I'm wondering how I'm connected in with you. And when you came through, you had us go into inner earth temples in the water and did an activation. So pyramidal temples. So I'm wondering a little bit more about the inner earth pyramid temples and our connection. And that's all. Thank you.
There are many inner earth temples. There are many temples that have not been found yet and others that have. And so these things are from the past, from ancient past, and from times even before the earth turned itself over many times. And so it is that there are secrets and mysteries about this planet that only very few know, or any few will ever comprehend. But these secrets are vital to some, and they are being found now. It is a time where the past mysteries are being opened. These are part of the prophecies that are being spoken of by Elijah and others. There's so much to tell about these things, but very few would understand. There are powerful temples. There are temples that have great energy in them, but they must be found and they must be activated and they must be understood. They are not for self-use necessarily.
Yes, I got that it was a very sacred place and when during the channeling, that's how the request from you came into entering into the locations. But how are we connected? I'm curious. I noticed that every time when I'm channeling a being that I'm connected in some way.
Everyone is connected to the beings that they channel. Beings, because we have chosen you to channel through, that is our connection. We've discovered that we can move through you and bring forth messages. That is our connection. We do not have to have past life connections, but I can channel through many different people here and bring forth truth and understanding. But as I choose my people carefully, they must be aware that I chose them because they are available and they have the necessary means of understanding and consciousness to bring me through in a full state.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I know ever since that happened, I've been in kind of this ultra high vibration that's been very interesting for a day-to-day interaction with just my just regular activities. So it's been a beautiful blessing. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Thank you. I do not have any other questions unless someone
I
else
came
has it.
to give that information and now I can leave.
Beautiful. It was beautiful information. Thank you so much.
Very well. Have a good day.
You as well. Thank you. Much love.
I am Sendar from Alpha Centauri.
Welcome. Welcome.
I'm
Would-
briefly here.
All right. Is there anything you would like to share with us about who you are and what your purpose is for coming through, other than you were requested? But is there any purpose that you can share with us
I am
as
a
to what?
starship captain
Mm.
from Alpha Centauri. We are one of your closer stars. In fact, maybe the closest. There are other beings closer than we are, but the star itself is the closest one, I believe. So we are here and we have checked out the universe at large. Not all of it, of course, but we've checked out Earth as well and the populace there, and we wish to bring blessings to it. We know that there is a great deal of hostility on your planet. We do not know how to bring that to an end, but we ask that you just do your best to bring positivity to the future. We are going to be coming to your planet. We are going to be coming as a contact eventually. We know that we will be welcomed when the time is right, but it is not right yet for us. We do not look quite human. We are very good peoples, most of us, and we are trying to do our best to be a help to the universe and those planets that need us. And so that is our mission. We fly around to different places, trying to give help to other planets that may need it, that are also in the galactic government. Your planet is not in the galactic government at this point, except to be acknowledged by it. Your peoples and your governments do not allow you to become part of the nearby galaxies, but one day it will happen.
Thank you. Do you have a time frame as to when that will happen?
Within 10 years. But mostly we hope it will happen before then. That is the long range guess.
Thank you very much. I believe Michael is the one that requested you, Michael?
Yes. Question.
Are you there,
Yes,
Michael? Okay.
greetings. I've always been told about you guys that y'all are the closest and that you don't really participate, not saying it in a negative way. And I've also heard that you guys were, not three-dimensional, but close, but was not as a heart of a world, like, how we're, this is like a real lessons and stuff like that. And for you guys to be so close, I was just wondering, why, and if you could share anything about your civilization or anything to us.
Yes. Well, like I said, I am the captain of a very large vessel, but our peoples are not third density like you are. However, we can move into third density if we wish. It does take some maneuvering, but our technology can do it. We are a higher density beings. We also have many good things to share with the earth once we are able to come to it. We will make ourselves third dimensional to be on the earth and to share our thoughts with mankind, as you call yourselves. And we will share all the different things that are part of our traditions, rituals, and understandings, our belief systems as well. It is a time when we are paying close attention and that we are going to pay even closer attention as the next few years go by. We see that there are going to be attempts at first contact. We hope that they will be legitimized, but we fear with some of the governments on this planet that they will not be. But we will still be trying to look forward to a first contact in any way that we can find. We will not be the first to show ourselves because we will not be the kind of being that will be easily welcomed onto your planet. However, the Zhuog, as they are called, are more welcoming in some ways. But we will try our best and always try our best to be friendly and amicable to your species. It is hard.
Question. And your area.
What? Say again.
Yes, and an area that was destroyed. Could you tell us more about that?
You are breaking up and I cannot hear you.
He said, he said that he understood Alpha Centauri had been destroyed. Can you say something about that?
Alpha Centauri, there are many planets in the Alpha Centauri area. There has been one planet that was destroyed, but not ours. There is fighting in the latter sections of the galaxy. If you were to look at the galaxy from your direction, it would be to the north and east. In that direction, there are very many wars that have been fought, and they rekindle every now and then, and they rekindle often. And so battling in those areas is common, but sometimes they bring their battles to other places. And that is why one of the planets in the Alpha Centauri area was destroyed.
Michael, you still with us? While we're waiting for him to come back, because he dropped off, and if I drop off, I do apologize. We're having our electricity is going in and out right now. It should be all right, but Mr. M from the YouTube chat says there was an alleged nuclear nuclear leak, radiation recently in Pakistan. Is there a danger to humanity from it? How bad was the leak and its effects? Thank you.
The leak is substantial, but it is in a place where it is not going to harm many people. But it has been taken care of. But there is still some radiation in those areas. You must understand that where this leak came from is in an area that is not highly populated. And so therefore, if you heard anything differently, that is untrue. So the radiation leak has been controlled, but there's still a half-life for the radiation that has been leaked. And so within a few years, that should be safe, but not right now.
Okay, thank you for that. Tay says, can you explain NPCs? Like, why are they here? Do they only come to third density? Do they work, have kids, and vote? Or do they disappear after their mission is complete? Or do they have missions and karma?
What is an NPC?
It's a it's a person that is not real. So
A
like
non-physical entity?
well, no, the word, it's a gaming term. It means it's a non-physical, non-person character or whatever. It's like it would be like in a game that you play, a video game.
I understand now. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, there are some of those creatures on your planet, and they do have families and do procreate, and there are not as many of them as you might think. They are there as background. They are
Yeah.
there to attempt to help some people with their missions that need special people to help them. Now, I cannot go into greater detail than that because I would be outing them to most people here because they would see through their disguise. But I will see that there are not as a lot as you may seem. And some NP, whatever you call them,
These NPCs.
NPCs,
Yeah.
do marry those with souls and have children that have souls, or have children without souls. This is a problem because those that have no souls on a planet such as yours will be increasingly negative. They will go with whatever is being done. We see these people, but we are not really going to pay much attention to them because there's not that many of them. But we pray that they do not continue to procreate.
They're called non-player characters. I just remembered. Non-player characters.
Yes, all right, I understand that.
Yes.
but they
Okay.
are players. They are backup players. They do have a purpose, but they must be removed soon.
So if they're procreating with people with souls, is it like a 50-50 chance that they will have a soul of their child or their offspring would have a soul or not?
That is correct.
Interesting. Is Michael back? Michael, did you have another question? Because you kind of fell out. Michael?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Why
please continue.
why you guys are on that? As Dolores Cannon has talked about backdrop people.
Why are
Any
we're not backdrop people, but
no, yeah, but I'm just just asking if sorry.
the backdrop people are there for a purpose. They have to fill in for someone who did not play properly and was removed. And so as that happens, that they were filling in for someone that did have a soul, but did not make it through the lifetime in the proper way, they took over the body, and then they are now helping in a way that I cannot tell you what it is because you will see through that.
Well, thank you so much. Blessings.
Blessings to you. But those
Yeah.
people must be removed soon. They will not always be there.
In the chat, they're asking, how do you recognize an NPC? And who sends them here?
They come on their own accord. They asked to be put in a place of a human soul that is not working out. So they are actually volunteers. And you will know them by their emptiness in some ways. They have little humor. They have blank eyes, and they have little conversation. They're very quiet.
But they asked to come here?
Yes,
Who did they ask?
they asked some of the people in the spiritual realms. They do not ask God, but they ask other higher spiritual realms.
So are they a soul?
They are not. They are a loose spirit. And that is why they want to come into a body, because they are loose. It is not understood by your people what that is, but there are many kinds of beings in the universe. And these loose spirits do exist.
But they do have a will.
Yes, they will themselves to be human so they can experience the body.
I feel like our understanding of NPCs is that they're sort of there to move forward an agenda or move forward the story, but not necessarily
That is correct.
don't change, really.
That is
It's like the
correct.
bank teller
They
that
know what
always says,
they have to
"Hello."
do in order to become an NPC. They must agree to the terms. And so they do, and they do have a purpose.
But an NPC go rogue?
They would be taken away because immediately they would be taken away from the planet. A death would occur.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I'm interested in this loose spirit that it's not a soul, but it is a thinking.
It is a loose spirit, and it comes from a different place in the universe than anyone knows of. It's not a dark spirit, or it's not a light spirit. It happens to evolve into a neutral spirit.
Okay, interesting. Did anyone else have any questions? Because I don't have any other ones. Oh, sorry. I just scrolled up. Sarah says, can you tell us, are the grays all bad? Why do I feel them connecting to me and I feel that they aren't evil?
They are not all evil. There are some negative grays, and there are some very positive grays. There are several species of grays, in fact. I can name about 5 of them that come into your realm or have been in your realm. So it is that when you connect to them, you may be connecting to a positive gray that has very positive understandings and wants to do well by mankind, or you may connect to a negative gray. There are also neutral grays that do not have really an opinion. They're just more scientific. They just want to find out what makes mankind work and tick. They don't really care about what happens to them. They just want to know all about them scientifically. So therefore, there are all kinds of grays, but 5 of those species have visited Earth.
Sarah says, I feel the short ones. I feel them sending me dreams and messages. I don't trust them, but I feel that they aren't bad people. I'm confused.
They are not bad, but they have their own agenda. It does not mean that they're bad, but they have their own agenda and they want to see their own agenda come to fruition. They too are scientists. They too want Earth to succeed in many cases, but they are not really very interested in humanity, except for their biological findings. They are really more interested in Earth outcome, meaning that they want Earth to survive. They want Earth to come to a good end, but they don't care about individuals. They just care about the whole society. They want the society to be all successful. But individuals, not so much. They don't get involved with individuals unless they want to know more about them. And if they are friendly with you, that is good, because that will show a different portion of them that they do not show to most. And I don't say that they are bad. I do think that they have positive thought processes, but being interested in friendship or things of that nature, I am not sure. I have not met the small grays that really have a lot of friends on Earth. But they're not evil.
Yeah, they have their own thing going on.
Yeah.
We're just basically irrelevant to their
Well,
to their play.
not irrelevant necessarily, but individually irrelevant, but as a whole society, very relevant. If that makes
Perfect.
any sense.
Yes, it does. Yes. Yana has a question. Go ahead, Yana.
Oh yes, I hope you can hear me. Hello, thank you for coming. I have a question about you were talking about the grays and then negative, positive, and neutral ones and scientists. I have been implanted with how do you say that, implants several times, and I have cooked with me removed them. Can you tell me what group is that does that?
Well, actually, 4 of those 5 groups of grays that come to Earth do have implant technology that they use. They want to know more about individuals, how they think, how they work, what their pulses are, their heartbeats, their biorhythms, their brain waves, all kinds of things. And so many of them use implants to measure these things. They also are measuring to see if there are any gray aspects to human beings, because they know that humans are a blend of many different species. And they want to see how much the gray aspects come out in human beings. And they have found that gray aspects come out in there are several different races that have high gray aspects.
Thank you. And do they have some kind of emotional way of feelings of experiencing uh, what they are doing to people, or what they are
Yes.
consciousness of?
They're trying not to bother people, really.
Mm.
They're just trying to be there without being there, meaning that these implants are nothing personal. They're just trying to get the information they want. And they're not trying to be friends or foes or allies or anything like that. They just want to get biological information, brainwave information, wave information, information from the eyes, what is being seen and how it's being recognized and how it's being used in the brain. The brain is a very important factor for them. They want to know how the brain works, and they want to understand everything about it because it's fascinating to them.
That was my question. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I'm
Your
looking
brain.
forward. I'm looking forward to open contact. Thank you.
Yes, they must like your brain if they are there a lot.
Okay. Thank you so much. Blessings.
You're welcome. Any more questions? All right, I will bring someone else in then. One moment. Greetings. Greetings. I am Lorraine, and I am from 20 years in the future. I am from England. Is there anyone there?
Yes, Lorraine. Thank you so much for coming. I think the one that is hosting this session is lost internet for a bit, but I am the one who requested you. Thank you so much for coming. You are from 20 years in the future England.
Yeah.
Oh, so interesting. I was very curious about and thank you. And so you're living in Europe, which is also very interesting.
Yeah.
As we are going through a very turbulent time here in Europe and in the world, I, from your perspective, looking back, can you tell us um, uh, how there were shifts in power and how your general life is like now?
Well, there's been many changes. We have a different, uh, we have someone different in charge here. King Charles has passed, but they're telling me I'm not allowed to say who's taken his place. But I can tell you that there is much more technology being used, but it does not seem any bit unrealistic. We are still in a very third dimensional realm, and people are acting very third dimensional. There has been first contact, which is very interesting, but we do not see much of the aliens. We know they are there, but they do not interact with humanity very often. We have very much learned a lot from them. They have written many books or done many papers or whatever you want to call it. It's online. And they are all helpful to governments and science and medical applications. And yes, the aliens are actually popular because they are not seen. People cannot discriminate against them if they cannot see them. And so when they came to Earth, yes, we saw them on television. We saw them we heard them on radio. We were able to interact a little bit with them, but it was because they disappeared and are sort of just talking to the government, they're much more well liked because I think that the people would see them as intruders. And a lot of people still do, but there are that many that want them to stay sort of hidden
Mm.
so
Do
that
you,
they can live, they can actually do a lot of good work without being seen.
okay, so do you know which of the extraterrestrial families came
There's
to
more
make?
than one. More than one has come. Um, we know of a few different ones from Sirius, from uh, Pleiades, from Orion, and the Zhuog, which
Understood.
they were supposed to be first, but oh, I'm not allowed to say that. All right. They are, there is much good news from them. They are very interesting beings, and every now and then they're on the television,
Okay, that's nice.
and they show themselves through the television, but you never see them walking around.
So how is Mother Earth doing when you are living in England? How is the weather changes and
There is severe weather.
yeah.
Still, they have not been able to do that. The earth changes are permanent, I believe, from the time of the Axis movements. And the Axis movement has continued, not as far as to be in a dangerous position, but to change weather in a very, very hostile way.
Okay, so when was that really present in the years between that you really could feel that or the stream the jet streams were changing perhaps?
Well, peace is not here yet. It's 20 years from your future, and peace has yet to be resolved in some places. But I cannot tell you where they have been resolved. They have been resolved in others.
Mm.
But there's growing concern of more wars.
And so still wars, unfortunately. When will we learn?
I do not know. I
That
do not know.
this was more of a remark than a question. I don't expect you to know that. So can you tell me a bit about your normal life? Is that very much changed in the past 20 years?
Well, I am a chemist, and in this day and age, chemists are very important. And we use AI as a support system because AI can tell us how to move forward with good bonding chemicals and actually warn us against what can happen with some alliances of chemicals. So I am one who uses AI quite a bit. I ask many questions. We are looking for cures for many things still, because the aliens will not give us all the cures. The governments will not allow them to destroy big pharma.
Mm.
It would destroy the planetary wealth completely. And so little by little, it's being decreased, and something else is coming in its place. And that's small pharma, which is what we are working on now.
So these were my questions. So I thank you so much, Lorraine, for coming, and I wish you very well and give you blessings. I can imagine there are others that perhaps have questions for you. So I give it over to the host that will take over now.
I
Thank
hope
you.
Okay.
I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you sure have. Thank you.
Very good.
Blessings.
Thank you so much, Yana. Yeah, Celeste has a question, and there's questions in the YouTube chat.
Yes, hello. Okay, so you are 20 years from the future.
Yeah,
Now, you are one of our probable future timelines, aren't you?
yeah,
Not because we could go askew either side of your timeline.
correct.
Okay, okay. So, so
But
it's just a,
yet, this one seems very stable to me. So I am thinking that this is more of a given than a take. So I think this timeline is pretty stable.
highly probable one. Okay, so you're not allowed to have any ET technology to aid in the healing of the humans at the
Yes,
moment.
we are. They have given some. The med beds, as you speak of them, have returned, and they are able to be well used. And also, there's other technologies from different species that are similar but not the same. And they are technologies that are very well used as well. They are like energy masses that strike the person and heal the areas of the body that need healed. Now, what these masses do is vibrate the negative things in the body so that they come out.
Okay, regarding CERN, how influential has that been in manipulating the timeline?
Sun,
CERN, the Central European.
CERN.
Yeah.
Yes, CERN is still there. Had a couple very close calls with CERN. And they did create black holes, which they had to destroy immediately before they even grew at all. So, but they were fortunately very small. And they did create a passage into other dimensions. They did create places where aliens could come through if they wished, but the aliens that were coming through those dimensional passages were not healthy aliens, so they closed that passageway. Only the aliens that come through legally will be accepted.
Okay, so it's still a very much controlled environment as
It's
far as
very
Earth is concerned.
controlled, yes. That is a very controlled environment and very much secretive. Very little comes out of CERN that is shared with the world. But the chemists seem to have some connections to CERN because of what we do and the things that we have to deal with from CERN. Sometimes we have to analyze things that come out of CERN. And so the chemists are made aware of some things.
And overall, the population, what is their feeling? Are they optimistic about the future, or they're looking back on Earth and seeing the history and maybe it's repeating itself?
The population is maintained at about 9 billion.
Mhm.
And that is, there is plenty of room for 9 billion. If you would fill up all the spaces on Earth, you would have room for maybe 100 billion. We have figured it out.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed.
Yes.
Thank you. There's quite some questions in the YouTube chat. I'm going to just go to them. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure find the right question here. Do we have Tay wants to know, do we have teleportation, free energy, cured disease? You touched on that. Have we learned our true history at this point?
Much more of it, yes. You have learned much more of it, but not all of it yet. There is still much to uncover. We know much more than you might think, but we are not sharing it with the world. That is not happening. So that needs to happen.
So is there been disclosure at this point? I'm sorry, I came in late
Yes,
because it's
there
cut
has
off.
been, yes. Orions, Pleiadians, Syrians, and Zhuog.
Okay. Oh, all right. Those Zhuog keep pushing their way in, man. They're really pushing.
But as I have told them, you don't see the aliens much, except maybe occasionally on television.
Right.
They
And
keep themselves very well hidden from humanity because they do not want to cause any problems.
okay. Stephen Helms says, sorry, Tay says, have hybrids integrated into society at this point?
To some extent, there are hybrids coming to meet their families. It has happened, but they do not stay around for very long. They meet their families, they spend a couple days, and then they're off again because they, like all the other aliens, they do not want to cause problems. They do not want to cause irritations, and it's best to be not seen.
That's a very different narrative, I think, than people believed. I think they thought that hybrids would come and families would be put together and then they would sort of live happily
Yes.
ever after. Yeah.
Well, there's much, they believe that there would be much prejudice against the aliens if they were to be very noticeable and walk among the people. But they have not been accepted well enough to be seen.
It's too bad. Spiritual Love says, what or where are the caves that have reptilians that live in them? How do you tell if they're benevolent? Who are the ones currently living on the earth?
That's a good question. There are many caves that go very deep into the earth. The reptilians are very deep. They are not in the outer casings of the planet. You must go in a couple miles at least to find reptilians. And they are in Europe, in Switzerland, well, not Switzerland, I mean Sweden, Norway, Russia, some places in Canada. And in the southern hemisphere, they're in Australia, Chile, Argentina, Peru.
Okay. From your perspective on this earth, how many parallel similar versions of humanity exist?
I do not know the answer to that question. We know of a few of them, but that is only the tip of the iceberg. I couldn't actually say.
It could be infinite, really, couldn't it?
It could be, yes.
Okay. Spiritual Love says, why are some people drawn to caves and mountains that are so ancient?
Because they came from caves and mountains that are so ancient. Some of them live there. Some of them feel home there. Some of them feel connection to these places. And that is the answer for that, because it is that they are being summoned by their past.
When was the quantum financial system implemented, or was it? I guess is a better question.
It's
Was it
implemented now,
okay?
but it is not still widely used. And let me tell you why. It's there and it is used, but there has been some hacking into the quantum systems. Even yes.
No, I said, of course there has been. It can be hacked. They're going to do it.
And so a lot of people have taken note that it's safer to be in relatively easy to hack situations because they don't have all that much money to begin with, and they're only looking for the high financial loads. They're not looking for everyday people money. They're looking for the high quantum millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires. And that's why the quantum system has not been very successful. It only has the very highest of donators, and they've been hacked more than once. And so no one wants to get near it. And many of the high financiers have pulled away from the quantum system just because it's the most targeted one.
Okay. Thank you for that. There's a question that what are the main chemicals you use in healing human DNA?
Mostly serotonin, norepinephrine, the ones that the brain chemicals release. The brain releases many chemicals, and those are the most helpful to human beings for healing.
What's the status of telepathy?
Telepathy is coming along, but it is frowned upon by most religions because they feel it is a loss of personal control if someone wants to read them. And so it is frowned on by all or most religions. So most religions will not allow it in their churches. If someone is a telepath and open about being a telepath, they will shun them.
Okay, in your timeline, is humanity more accepting of each other? And also, did Elon Musk make it to Mars?
There is more acceptance in places. Yes. But the energy going in the body is creating a discombobulation here. But yes, there is better connections now in many places. There is still a lot of separatism because people have decided that they want to be alone, and so therefore they have chosen it. But society as a whole has grown a little closer at this point, I believe. And I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say at this point. There is a great deal of grassroots workings that are trying to make it even stronger and more united in a non-spiritual way.
Did you hear the question about Elon Musk? Did he make it to Mars?
I'm not allowed to, oh, am I allowed to say that? Yes. But I'm only allowed to say yes.
Okay, all right. Someone says, can us mere peasants be part of first contact?
Of course. Everyone is part of first contact because they made themselves known to everyone on the television screen. And as that is worldwide, um, everyone has seen their faces of all the different species. They have not run into them on the streets, but they have seen what they look like.
Interesting. I do have a question. Oh, it's just gone. What, I'll ask somebody else's question. My question's gone. Okay, can you tell us more about the reptilians who are living on the earth and details about them? Are they really indigenous to our planet according to what these beings say? What is their connection to this planet?
They are not necessarily indigenous to this planet. They've been here for a very, very long time, and so they might be seen as some of the very first life on this planet. Yes, but they are not necessarily indigenous. They come from other worlds. And they are here. They actually were grandfathered in a long, long time ago, and so they tried to take the look of a human. They try to be more human looking, but you'll be able to tell that they are reptilian by their anger, by their short tempers, their actual physical overwhelming power. They are strong.
Hmm. Okay, I did have a question. Since we've come 20 years to the future to talk to you, have you all on in your timeline gone into the future as well to see your own future?
We have to some extent. And we are not happy with what we see. Around 2050, which is 25 years into the future from your vantage point, there is a lot of turmoil. Even though we see people coming together, there is turmoil that is very unacceptable in about 2050 to 2055.
Is that manifest in wars? Is that just humanity in general?
It's war, but it's also viral. It's viral infections. It's 5G catching up with humanity.
We're not into 6, 7, or 10G by now.
5G has the worst results. There is higher G, yes.
Are they using hover cars, plasma cars yet?
There are some, but they're so dangerous. No one wants to use them. They are not really very reliable. If you are in a hover car and it happens to stall, you fall directly to the earth. It is
That's
not a good way to travel.
agreed. I don't think we think about that part of it enough.
Yes, if you have some kind of mechanical damage on a hovering car, you're pretty much dead because it will explode. And it
Great.
will fall on somebody or something if there's something underneath you.
It's
So
even
hover
better.
cars are only used by the governments because that's the only reliable hover cars there are. They make them very, very expensive. Hover cars are extremely expensive.
Okay. Have Canada and the US broken up into similar regional nation states? Or excuse me, have Canada and the US broken up into smaller regional nation states?
Yes, but I'm not allowed to say what.
Okay, let me see. Wendy has a question. Wendy, do you want to ask your question?
Yes, thank you. What I'm wondering is, have the Telosians come out of Mount Shasta from 5D at this point?
Yes,
At what point in our future timeline does that occur?
I'm not allowed to say. That is supposed to not be known. But it is not far in your future.
I understand. Does that mean that people who either live in the area or go to visit are now allowed into Telos?
Well, it is a fourth dimensional setup. So they are trying to make a third dimensional portion to Telosian space there. It is working out to some extent.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have just a few more moments. I just want to make sure there's all the questions in the chat are answered. Someone is asking, are there reptilians in the US?
Yes, they're everywhere.
Okay. And let me
But they
see.
have their caves in the locations that I mentioned. But that doesn't mean they stay in them.
All right. Spiritual Love saying, reptilians say they are the ones that are indigenous, not us. They evolved naturally, unlike us humans, since we humans were genetically modified, and there has been many interferences in our history.
They have a point there. They have evolved naturally, where humanity did not. So they may want to call themselves indigenous, but they did come from another planet.
Okay. He said that he continues, he says, they say that they are the ones who are supposed to live on the surface. They can't because of some ETs banned them.
Well, that was a long time ago. Yes, we are learning the history of that now from Orions and Pleiadians. They were sent away or they were denied access on the Earth because they were causing havoc. And so they were denied being on the Earth, and that sort of stuck. But they have come out of hiding and they use human bodies or human looking bodies. They make their own, of course, human bodies to come out and do their thing. And we don't know who they really are until we see their anger, their statute, and the way they behave is sort of obvious at times.
Thank you. We're getting to the last question, but this is a nice little question. Is Hucolo still going? 20 years.
Yes, of course.
Okay, well, that's great. All right.
I mean, I know of Hucolo. We're on it now, I believe.
Yes.
It's changed a great deal.
Yes. And this is a great question to end with. What advice would you be giving your younger self in 2025?
Let's see, I could be about 10 things.
Okay.
But one of them is learn not to argue with your boss. Learn to stay in control is I guess the biggest one I've learned, because at that time I was very I could get very angry very quickly, and that caused a lot of problems. The other thing about my younger self was I was a little flirtatious. I think now I don't see that as such a good goal.
Thank you so very much. I would ask if you would give us a blessing from the future to us, and maybe this interaction will change our timeline a little bit and see if we can't move into a more positive way. But if you can give us a blessing on our way out, that would be fantastic.
All right.
And thank you so much for your presence with us.
Well, you're welcome. I would say, dear God, bless these people and let them move into the future in a very nice way. Many have moved into the future in a not so nice way, and God forbid that they would do that. Let them be aware of everything around them and how to use their talents to the best of their ability. Call on God all the time, because He's the only one that really knows what you're all about. Someone in your family or someone in your relationships may know you very well, but they don't know what you're all about. Only you do and God does. So take heed of that. It took me a while to learn that. And so I want you to learn that quickly. I love you all, and I hope to see you in 20 years. Some of you will be here still, and some of you won't. But I understand the understanding of that. Some of you will be in a higher place, and some of you will be teaching and on a world level. So it will be an interesting time for you. Be blessed and stay aware of yourself, and do not let yourself be overcome by your selfness. It's easy to be overcome with everything about yourself and everything around you. Be aware of those that need your help. That is a good message, because I'm a chemist and I know what a chemist can do for the world. And it's a good thing. And we only want to do what is best. We do not want to unleash any viruses on the planet that would be hostile or unwelcome. So be aware of all that you do. Accidents can happen, and some of them can be very destructive. Much love to you, and may you all be well.
Thank you. And thank you so much again for coming. And maybe we can tap into you again if that's okay. At another
Yeah,
place. Yes.
perhaps.
Right. Much love to you.
Have a good day.
You as well.
I'm going back to my lab. Wonderful.
Okay. Thank you very much. Jim
Hello?
is back. Hi, welcome back. What an interesting channeling.
Oh, good.
Good. Angie, you have some announcements for us?
Hi, thank you so much. And what a great session. Jim loved it.
Good.
This is the information that I would like to share, which is please visit our site, humancolony.org. We have Jim's website information and Jim's email information. So we have all that. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. And that's my announcement.
Okay, perfect. Next week it will be Max. And just be reminded that Max starts about 30 minutes to 45 minutes later than the original start time. So at about Eastern Standard Time, quarter till
Well,
11, no,
Quarter
quarter
to
till
12.
12,
Yes.
quarter till
Quarter till
12,
12.
sorry. Yeah, quarter till 12 Eastern Time and quarter till 9 California.
Pacific time, Pacific time.
Thank you, Pacific time, yeah.
Yes.
And then you guys in California, I mean, you guys in Europe, it'll be 5:45 and later, depending on where you are. So, but he's going to be doing his talks on the telepathy tapes. So
Yes.
please tune in for that. And Jim will be back in 2 weeks.
Very good.
So, all right, much love to you, everyone. Thank you for a fabulous webinar. Everyone had great questions. That's always good. We always like that. And I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. And any questions you didn't get answered today, please jot them down and we'll go at them again. And then just next time, come in with when you get in the chat, just put your requests in there as soon as possible, because there's a little delay between when we start and we get and I say, where are the requests? And then you guys are typing them, but then we've already listed them. So it'd be good if you could come in with your request right away. So, all right. Thank you to Gary, Nancy, Cindy, who else is in there? Tay, all the people that were in the chat today.
Gary, yes.
Yeah, I said Gary
Oh,
first.
okay, yeah.
Sarah, just everyone that was in it. Millie, Mr. M, everybody that was in their chat today. Mark. So, and I missed somebody that's a regular and I don't want to miss him. Who did I miss? Wait, don't hang up. Anantha. Who did I miss? Spiritual Love. Oh, Stephen Helms. Sorry about that.
That's it, Stephen Holmes.
That's who I was hunting. That's who I was hunting for. Okay. All right. That's how they say in the South. That's who I was hunting for. All right. Much love to you all. Thank you. And we'll see you next week. And thank you to everyone in our Zoom room. That's Wendy, Selesh, Michael, Sierra, Christine, Yana, Angie, and anyone else that I missed. So much love to you.
Adriana. Yeah.
Adriana, sorry about that. See?